Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice of radio. So today, I am here to show you a new Vikavolt deck, which has been winning at the very first opportunity over in Japan. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I told you that the new Charjabug could well end up making Vikavolt broken, and it turns out it has gone and won at the very first opportunity. Yeah, it's pretty gosh darn good, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty gosh darn good. So let's have a quick look at it, shall we? Now, it actually uses just the new Vikavolt. It does not use the old Vikavolt in any way. It's just focusing on the new one. So all of that strong charging malarkey, that's gone. We are just left with the one that, as long as there is a stadium in play, you have no weakness. And what it does is 120 damage for 4 energy. A little bit expensive. But if you discard all lightning energy attached to it, then you get to do 220 damage. Which is a lot better, ladies and gentlemen. It is an awful lot better. No strong charge, just smashing with a big Pokemon that don't have no weakness. How do we possibly get the energy onto this without worrying about strong charge? Charjabug. You see, the Charjabug here is fairly phenomenal. And what the Charjabug does is you can attach it to a Vikavolt as a double lightning energy from your hand. You attach it, and it counts as 2 lightning energy. Here's the scariest thing about this if you're the opposition player. This does not count as your energy attachment for the turn. So you can just play 2 Charjabug in one turn, and then you're up and rolling. It's a little bit ridiculous. And in terms of attackers, that's essentially what we're playing here. We just want to make sure we've got 4 lightning energy on a Vikavolt every single turn. The thing to remember here is that we've got electro power. That lets you do an extra 30 damage. So you don't always need to discard the energy. If you're against something like a Tapu Lele and you're able to drop 2 electro power, you get the KO. You don't need to discard the energy. Against something like a Granbull, you drop 1 electro power. You don't need to discard the energy. But what you can do so beautifully here is attach Charjabug for your turn. And if you attach 2 on your turn, you don't need the lightning energy for your turn to attach to that Vikavolt. So you can essentially get 4 energy on your active to attack and an energy on a bench. And as soon as you've got 1 lightning energy on a Vikavolt, then you can go Charjabug, energy for the turn, and you're up and rolling with a single Charjabug. That's why there's no other energy acceleration here. You can attach 2 Charjabug for your turn, and you're up and ready to roll. And that still gives you your lightning energy attachment on another Pokemon. And as soon as you've got 1 lightning energy on here, Charjabug, attachment for the turn, go. It's hard to overstate how much of an advantage you get by being allowed to attach multiple special energies every single turn. Now that's the main part of the deck, really is just get your Vikavolt out, attach Charjabug, smash, but there are some other Pokemon that are extremely important in helping you out as well. We play Zapdos, of course we play Zapdos. Zapdos is nuts. 80 damage just so long as you're on the bench and became active this turn, though you don't hit for weakness. This is really good for taking out pre-evolution, Zorua springs to mind. It's a single energy attack, and as much as we can get all the energy on Vikavolt, there are going to be games where we don't draw into our Charjabug, etc., where we're going to just need a little bit of help from somebody. This comes in rather nicely indeed. We play a couple of Tapu Koko. Now, honestly here, Tapu Koko is not a great attacker in this deck. We're not playing double colorless energy, we're only playing basic lightning. So you're rarely going to be attacking with this, but just having a free retreater after a KO in the early game, etc. can be a huge bonus. And look, you can spread with this. It's just a really awkward attack cost. we see 3 copies of Dedenne GX, which is an over-the-top, stupid, phenomenal good card. The ability says that when you put it on your bench, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards, but you can only use 1 Dedenne during your turn. And this is a deck where you need to draw into those rare candy. Remember, you can use Charjabug to evolve up the normal way, but firstly that takes an extra turn, don't like it, and more importantly, you need your Charjabug as energy cards here. Charjabug is broken as an energy card and mediocre as a Pokemon. You've got to get set up here, and Dedenne just gives you that speed. We're not playing Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele gets your supporter cards, but honestly, it doesn't give you that same level of speed that Dedenne gives you here. Dedenne is phenomenal in a deck like this. And then we see a single copy of Marshadow. Marshadow does 2 things beautifully. Firstly, when it's on the bench, you can just discard this and discard a stadium, which is redonk. Nice if your opponent's playing something like a Black Market Prism Star, which will mean you take 1 fewer prize. But it also gets a 1-hit KO on either Baby Buzz, hey Nick, or with a choice band, Boswell GX. And by choice band, you know I basically mean Electro Power. This deck does play 1 choice band, but mostly it's going to be Electro Power. This is a great counter to those. And look, you've got no weakness if you've got a stadium in play, but your opponent can play something like a Field Blower or a Marshadow of their own, so it really is in your best interest to play a Marshadow, single energy, KO, and then you're not mucking around with Charjabug, and any KOs you can get here without using Charjabug are like house money. It's great. Something like Marshadow is wonderful in this particular deck. I love this Pokemon line. I would be tempted personally to play a single Vikavolt GX, because if you end up against a Lost March deck, it's essentially a 1-attack win. It's ridiculous. You basically take out all of their Pokemon. It is absolutely redonk. To be fair, you will need to get 10 damage on their Jumpluff to win with this, so maybe you need a single Flying Flip, but generally speaking, this is a great attack against low HP decks, so I would be tempted to play one of these just for me Gigatron GX. I should mention the only GX attack we have here is Dedenne. Dedenne's GX attack is fine, 50 damage, automatic paralysis, and then you put it back into your hand, ready to use it next turn, or just taking it off the field so you're not giving up a cheap 2 prizes. It's fine. It's not a great GX attack, but it is the only one you've got. In terms of energy, we're only playing 6 basic lightning. And the reason is we're generally trying to rely on Charjabug. Our ideal situation is attaching 2 Charjabug to a Vikavolt. But we still want to play some basic energy for Marshadow, for Zapdos, and like I explained earlier, for getting ahead in our energy attachments. Now, in terms of trainer cards, there are a few here which are exceedingly important in this particular deck. We've already mentioned Electro Power, really important in terms of being able to do that extra damage. But we've also got Electric Charger here, and Electric Charger is really important. Flip 2 coins for each head, shuffle an Electro Power from your discard pile into your deck. So it potentially gives you extra Electro Power, and I've already told you quite how important Electro Power is. 30 damage extra for your attacks? Yeah, that's a bit dumb good. We play 4 copies of a Rescue Stretcher here. And the reason we play 4 copies of Rescue Stretcher is because we need our Charjabug back. Charjabug is a Pokemon that functions as a special energy, but when it's not attached, it's a Pokemon. Which means Rescue Stretcher either shuffles 3 of them back into your deck, or puts 1 of them back into your hand. Imagining having a Rescue Stretcher that you could play with double colorless energy. It would be stupid good. Well, with Charjabug you do, and it is stupid good. But we also see a copy of Lurball here. Flip 3 coins for each head, put an evolution Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. It's very flippy, so it's less reliable than Rescue Stretcher, but every head gives you a Charjabug back, which can be immediately attached, because remember, it doesn't take your energy attachment for the turn, which incidentally, that is what makes Charjabug so broken. The fact that it's a double lightning energy is great. The fact that you can recover it with something like Rescue Stretcher, search it with something like Ultra Ball is great. But the fact that it doesn't take your energy attachment for the turn really is the thing that drops Charjabug into that's ridiculous territory. We see 3 copies of Volkner here. Volkner is kind of like a double whammy of awesome. Firstly, it lets you search for a basic lightning energy, and you're only playing 6 of them, so you're not always going to draw into them, though the Dene will help. But secondly, it lets you get an item card, which can be a Rescue Stretcher for your Charjabug, or an Electro Power to get a KO, or whatever. In terms of Stadium here, we are playing a couple of Ether Paradise Conservation Area. This is not going to do anything for Vikavolt, because it only reduces damage done to basic lightning Pokemon. But if you're playing Zapdos, if you're using Dedenne, if you're using Tapu Koko, that's really good. And remember, we need to be playing Stadiums here, because you only remove your weakness from Vikavolt if you've got a Stadium in play. We also play 1 Thunder Mountain. Thunder Mountain is dumb in this deck. It reduces your attack cost by 1 lightning energy, so essentially, Thunder Mountain, 1 Charjabug attachment for the turn. Oh look, you're now attacking. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then the other cards we see here are far more standard. 4 copies of Cynthia because it's a phenomenal draw card. We're only really playing Cynthia for draw here because we're playing 4 Ultra Ball, and we're playing Volkner that can find us an Ultra Ball, and we're playing Dedenne here, which makes us much less reliant on draw supporters. We've got 4 full copies of Guzma, and the reason for 4 Guzma is very simple. The extra switching that you need if you're playing Zapdos, which you will be in some games. Obviously, we're playing 4 Rare Candy so that we can get our Vikavolt out. That's fairly important. And we see 2 copies of Nest Ball just so we can get our basics out. It's not going to allow you to use Dedenne's ability, but it is going to allow you to get all of your other Pokemon out, and that seems moderately important to me. I talk about a lot of decks on this channel, and I'm excited to try out a whole bunch of those decks. But let me state this absolutely conclusively. This is the deck I am most excited to try. Of all the Japanese decks that I've shown you that were going to be legal in the near future, this is the one I am most excited about. I am buzzing about this deck, and not just because it's based on a flying insect. Boom, nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the video where you tell me what you think about Vikavolt. Do you think it's awesome? Do you think it's viable? Do you think it is going to be the thing that can take down Tag Team GXs? Please do bear in mind that Electro Power means you can get one-hit KOs on them. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But remember the most important rule as always. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we've got some exclusive Transformers TCG reveals, which I am still buzzing about. Yeah, that's right, I went back to the well. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.